The curse of the big thinker. Today's Monday, November 18th. It's 3:35 p.m. I'm about 7 miles into my run today. I've got 18 miles to run today because it's the 18th. We got some ducks on the pond. This is when it starts to get fun. Running the number of miles equal to the day because I've entered into the late teens and starting to get into the 20s. So I go along this Minnehaha Creek and it takes me from the Mississippi River all the way to Lake Harriet. I go along, so this creek takes me from, wow. Let me rewind because my brain is currently freezing right now, but hey, okay, so it takes me from the Mississippi River to Nokomis, Lake Nokomis, then from there to Lake Harriet, and I could take that to Bede-Makaska when it gets into the 30s. But this is the best trail. This is one of the reasons I love living in the Twin Cities, because you just don't get this access to nature anywhere outside of the Twin Cities in a major metropolitan Twin Cities city-like area. Chicago, you're not getting anything like this. Are you gonna sit in a tree like this in Chicago? No, you're not. So I had to get my car fixed today. Man, new wheels, new tires, some leaky valves, $1,800. I'm going in the red this month, that's for sure. That is for sure. Went to Costco today, another $225. It has been an expensive day, and it's only Monday. It's been an expensive week, and it's only Monday. Just thinking about this residual effect from the weekend. I feel like one of the best days that I've had so far have been Friday and Saturday of last week, because I got everything that I needed to get done in terms of setting myself up for success in the rhythm and process of making content on YouTube and making content online, and taking care of what I need to do physically, running wise, in preparation for my races and my year ahead in 2025. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, I have posted a daily vlog. I have done that first and foremost. I feel like there's been a little bit more structure to them. And so I feel like the process of making them has been more fun because I know what the structure is. I think that's an important part of doing anything consistently, is knowing what the structure is so that you know how to plug and play within that. I think it's the very same reason why I love Calendar Club so much, is because I know what the structure is, so I don't have to think about implementing a new structure every single day or every single week or every single month. I know what the structure is, and I know how I can execute effectively in that, and I feel like I'm getting that a little bit more in these daily vlogs. So I've been consistent with that, and that has felt good, and I have felt myself become less focused on the result of the videos and more about the focus on just getting proper inputs and outputs, you know, putting in the work to put these together, and then uploading them and tweaking them to be better each time. Look at this is great. This is what I love about Minnesota. I would never drink out of this water, but the fact that there's water does so much to the psyche. Where are you gonna get poop water Anywhere else in the country? A lot of places, actually. The answer to that question is a lot of places. Now you got me sitting on the trail. But I feel good about the structure and the process. And I don't want to live in the land of pity party and feeling sorry for myself and not putting in the work to at least give myself the chance and the opportunity. Because I know there was time this last month from the last time, my last big run, which was Chicago to Windsor. And I was doing daily vlogs for 14 to 16 days. And those were great. I had something to put together, and there was things happening throughout my day. And then I get back to no man's land and I didn't have anything going on. So it felt odd to be making daily vlogs, but here we are again. I promise that the vlogs will get better. Now that I'm consistent on the dailies, I want to put together more of a weekly recap as well, so that you can see the lifts I'm doing and more of like the week in full. We're going to be doing some cleaning out of the house. So I'll bring you behind the scenes and some of the other activities in my life, not just taking you out on a daily run and talking about where my thoughts are for the day, but giving you more of an inside look to other aspects to my life and what I got going on. Let's get into today's thought. So the thinker's curse, what is it? What does it mean? Where did I get it from? Well, it's something that I've felt and feel like I've always had, which is kind of funny that I use the words feel when talking about thinking, but it's something that I've always known about myself, that I think I put a lot of thought into situations in life and trying to extract the deeper meaning behind them. And when I'm putting together run projects, I'm analyzing and overanalyzing the potential impact that they can have. Not just that though, but also how I'm using my resources and abilities to help impact other people, and how much of it is me being selfish and about my ego compared to how much of it is actually about all these other things. So this constant wrestle between selfish and virtue and what is good, and is this the ultimate good? I could write a book about how much time I spend in thought process like that. And the thinker's curse came to me as I was listening to the Modern Wisdom podcast today by Chris Williamson, a favorite of mine. And in this particular episode, he had Matthew McConaughey. I think it was within the last week he was on, and they talked about the thinker's curse and how it related to McConaughey's role in Interstellar, and how you could find every way to justify being that character and thinking about what's more virtuous, going off and saving the world and trying to find an answer that will ultimately help your kids live longer and their kids live longer and the future of the earth and the people on it. Is that more good, or is staying around and being a parent to your kids and not leaving them alone, is that more of a good? What's the virtuous thing? And you could spend so much time in that thought trying to figure out what is the most virtuous thing for you to do, what is the most virtuous action for you to carry out. And they had talked a lot about how we oftentimes, we can, especially men, we can make ourselves believe that the most virtuous thing for us to do is the thing we have to suffer the most for. So in that circumstance, his character going off into space, he is suffering more because he's leaving his family behind, and so that can be looked at as the more virtuous thing because there's more suffering in that for him personally. And it came together for me as I was thinking about how a lot of times I can get lost in that fact. I can get lost in that mindset, and that I forget that I can feel my way into existence as well. Like my feet right now, I can feel them, my toes squishing around in my feet, and I can feel my presence here. I can become more aware of that, and there's so much power in that. I'm not sure where I left off. I just went to grab a donut because it's that time of the month where I get donuts. I guess the takeaway that I took that I wanted to pass along to you is, I think if you're a big thinker like myself, it can be really hard to get ourselves out of trying to think of every situation or every possible way that it could go right or wrong, or every possible situation where we're doing the most virtuous thing, we're doing the very best that we possibly can do, that we forget to enjoy and recognize that there's so much out of our control. There's so much that's out of our control that if we just allow it to become what it's supposed to be, then we get something that's magical. We get something that's pure. We get something that, yes, we put our heart and soul into it, but we allowed it to become what it was always supposed to be. And that's the beauty of the journey. That's the beauty of going through something and pulling something off and putting together a project, or just going on this this journey, is we don't know the outcome. And we should be really excited about that and allow that fear to guide that excitement at times. And just say, hey, I've got my hands on the wheels, I'm driving the car, and I don't know what's coming up, but I'm gonna continue moving forward.